Alrighty, so in this video, I'm going to be making the Myer's threaded wasteboard. So I'm going to walk you through what I did to make the wasteboard. Alrighty, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to download the file. So you open up Google Chrome, and you're going to want to search Myer's Woodshop Spoil Board. So you go to his blog post, and it says right here, here are the files. So if you're making this for the OneFinity woodworker, you're going to want to download the biggest one. So you right click on this file, you save it as, and then I already have it saved, so I won't save it again. But then you would save that to your desktop. You would load up the file from Carbide Create, and this wasteboard is actually a little smaller, so I'm going to make it to the size of my machine, which is 32 by 32, so it's not a huge difference. So I'll plug in 32 by 32, and we're going to want to have the X and Y 0 at the bottom left, and we're cutting it on MDF. So then we'll click OK, and that all looks good. And then we're going to hit Control A, and it'll select everything, and we're going to want to center these holes again on the board. So first you have to group everything together, otherwise all of the circles will go in the middle, which is really annoying. And then we align it, and that all looks good. So then after that, looks good, we'll go over to the Toolpaths tab, and we will simulate this. We'll simulate on MDF. So this all looks good. So now I will save the G-code to a flash drive and load it up on the machine. So now I saved the G-code, I got the flash drive in, and I will just name this Spoil Board. And I save it to the flash drive, and that's all there is to do on the computer. Alrighty, so in this clip I'm cutting out the spoil board, which will be 32 by 32 as I mentioned previously. So I'm going to lay this down on two pieces of MDF I just screwed down to my table as a temporary spoil board. So I'm going to lay this down, secure it up, and then I'm going to run the file. Okay, so I just laid down that 32 by 32 piece of MDF, and now I am going to probe the Z-axis and then run the file. So that's what I'm doing right now. Alright, so in this next clip you'll see the spoil board just about finished cutting. I apologize for not recording me cutting the whole thing out and me laying the thing down, but there's it almost done. Alright, so the spoil board just finished, so now we just have to finish drilling all the way through this and vacuum up the rest of the debris. Alright, so I'm going to pound the rest of these in. So unfortunately, you can tell the table is not level, because if you look over here, these are up just a hair, and over here, they're flush. So I can definitely tell that this spoil board will need to be leveled. So let's start pounding. Alright, so I just finished putting all these T-nuts in. So basically some of them are flush, and then other ones over here are sticking out a whole bunch, like some of them. So I'm going to have to lay this down on the CNC, and then I'll probably go over it with the flattening bit a couple times before it will be level, since it's probably off by like 0.1 of an inch or something. So we'll see how it goes. Alrighty, so before I screw this spoil board down and surface it, I'm going to make a smaller one. So this smaller one is 23 7/8 by 24 7/8. So I'm just going to drill 5/16 holes that should line up with this one. So if I ever want to do a profile cutout like something like this, I lay this on top of this spoil board, and then I lay this down, and then it'll eat into this board because I would like this to stay as nice as possible because it has these T-nuts in there. So that's the plan. Alright, so as I just mentioned, I'm going to make that spoiler board that sits on top. So that's a 23 by 20, 23 and 7/8 by 24 and 7/8. So my original plan was just to size down this job setup, but I realized I can't do that because when I originally made this, I made this 32 by 32, and so it won't properly line up. And this new one's 0.6 deep, and we're going to center the lower left. This is MDF. So when I resized this, I went like this, grouped everything together, and recentered it. So now what I'm going to do is, after I did this, now I can resize the sheet to that 23.875 by 24.875. And now I know that everything in here will line up properly. So I can only cut these holes, otherwise it's not going to line up. So if you have any questions, just comment down below. But now I have to ungroup everything, and then I'm just going to delete all of these excess ones. And if I did it right, all of these should line up with my spoil board, so let's hope it does. So I don't need the larger holes, so I'll just delete this tool path. And then these ones, I'll just use the stack bottom, 1/4 inch end mill, that looks good. And then we'll simulate this on MDF. And that should look good. And then if not, I can always just drill through them again. So that's the plan. Alrighty, so I got that top spoil board all cut out. So it's time to vacuum everything up, take it off, and then surface the other one. Alright, so I got the wasteboard secured, and I should have sunk these screws far enough in where this surfacing bit won't hit them. So I'm going to put this in, zero this, and then run the surfacing program. Okay, so I just finished surfacing the entire board. I vacuumed almost everything up, but it's still pretty dusty. I got this, so that's the whole spoil board. I want to thank you all for watching my video. If you have any comments or suggestions or questions, please leave them down in the comments below. Thank you all again for watching. Please like and subscribe.